Hey everyone, welcome back. It is time for a little mini state. I know we did a state not that long ago. We missed the month of August, so you're getting two in September. So how about that? This one is mainly going to be focused on, for the most part, we're going to be talking about all the WWE releases that happened last week, talk about where a good fit would be for some of them, and a little other wrestling news talk here and there, because a lot's happened over the last week, basically, since we put it out. Last 2 weeks since we recorded it.
We'll recap a couple things, and I think we should go over the card for Wrestle Dream so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that what it's called? Wrestle Dream?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Probably a Stardom event.
No, that would be Wrestle Dream Grand Ship.
Queendom, awesome. Purple, all aces.
But yeah, so we'll start with I guess the biggest name on the list would be Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, this one is kind of crazy to me because not only is he actually one of the best in-ring workers they've had for that entire period of time that he worked there.
He's good to put people over.
He's good to put people over. He's actually a good talker. He's a pretty good character, and he was so underutilized. And by WWE standards, I'll read this here. By WWE standards, he is going to make the Hall of Fame. Like in the world of wrestling,
8-time Intercontinental Champion, 2-time World Champion. He has to.
Well, I don't know here. This is what this says: 1-time NXT, 2-time World Champion, 2-time US Champion, 6-time Intercontinental, 4-time
tag.
Those
are some pretty impressive stats.
Listen, not to say that he's bad, but by WWE standards, that's a Hall of Fame career.
That's
especially
legendary.
For how many years he's worked there. Maybe not in the grand world of wrestling, he's like a Hall of Famer, but he's definitely in WWE.
Like at one point they were touting this guy to be like the next Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, and then they're letting him go. He's almost 100% going to sign into AEW.
Guaranteed. He's already been showing up on BTE.
Yeah, he's one of the biggest names that you can get right now that's still going to contribute and help put people over. He's good in the locker room, and his brother's already there.
Yeah.
So I can see that happening. But now my thought process is WWE intentionally screwing over his chance at the Hall of Fame by releasing him knowing that he's probably going to go to AEW, and then they're going to not put him in the Hall of Fame because he did that?
Maybe.
Because they're spiteful.
That's one of the reasons why Christian's not there.
Yeah, they're the most spiteful company of all time.
Yeah.
People were saying that they're surprised they didn't remove Sting out of the Hall of Fame when
he left.
When he signed to AEW.
But see, he was already in the Hall of Fame, but they've removed Hogan. They put him back, but they removed Hogan for rightful reasons. But yeah, he's going to AEW. I think he may even get a tag run with his brother.
Yeah, let it happen.
Yeah. The next big name there would be Mustafa Ali.
Really like him. A lot of people
I
talked to saying he's probably going to AEW. We'll talk about that in a second, but
I'd like him more in Impact.
I think he should go to Impact. I want him in the X division.
Yeah.
I think he'll get so much playtime in Impact, and he can
have. I could see those matches between Gresham, between Bailey.
He'll be immediately get moved all the way up the card, 100%.
I can see matches with Sabin, with Trey Miguel.
He's good. I don't understand this one. I know this is because he doesn't want to be there, but the mistreatment of him throughout his time in WWE is kind of one of the weirdest things that I think we've talked about since I started watching wrestling. We started doing this. It just doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't. And I'm sad to see him go, but hopefully this is better for his career.
And he got pulled out mid feud.
Push, yeah.
He was scheduled in for the next pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I know. But no, I mean, he was not happy there, clearly. And like I said, I think as much as I'd like to see him in AEW, I don't think there's a spot for him right now. Unless he's pushed right to the top of the international championship.
No, I don't want him there. I don't think he should go there personally either. And I think if I'm AEW with the roster I have, the only person I'm targeting is Dolph Ziggler. Zero other people. No, there's 0% chance I'm going at anyone except Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, because a few of these guys I could see ending up. Well, there's another name I could see.
I have 3 names off the top of my head, when we'll get to them already.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, they're going to Impact. Mustafa Ali was one of them.
Yeah. And okay, so here's another name, which was another big name there. This is probably the third biggest name on there, I would say, is Matt Riddle.
Yeah, so Matt
Riddle was released for different reasons, though. I know there was a lot of, like, he's toxic backstage. They're not a fan of him backstage. So there was more of a reason.
He, for backstagey type purposes, will not end up in AEW. He will also not take whatever they're going to pay him in Impact. I almost can guarantee he's going to Japan. Where he goes in Japan is yet to be decided.
I could see him in New Japan.
Like, he doesn't reek of New Japan, but I agree with you, because they're going to pay him because he's a name. He's going to attract attention.
The thing is, in New Japan, if he goes there, the shenanigans he pulls backstage, they'll beat the shit out of him back there.
Yeah. He'll also probably go to jail for the rest of his life in Japan.
Yes.
But,
well, speaking of Japan, our next name, Shelton Benjamin.
100%. I guarantee he's going to, like, Noah or New Japan.
Yeah, he's going back to Japan. I see that too. I mean, there was really nothing left for him to do there. Like, that push with him and Cedric Alexander, I think they're going to give Cedric a bit more of a singles push, or they may have Cedric rejoin with Lashley.
I mean, you never know,
because there's talks about a trios belt.
Yeah, there's talks about that.
And now you have the OC, you have the New Day. You have, if you put
if anybody hasn't noticed this, like, it's as blatant as the
beard on my face.
It's as blatant as the trios division was building in AEW, or how they were building that women's tag division, where every single week was a women's tag match. Yeah, and it's like, so obvious, but then they never did it. They just let it go.
Yeah.
But you could see it. Every faction in WWE is 3 people, or 3 guys and a girl.
Judgment Day.
Like, it's very obvious. Like, isn't LWO, if you remove out Rey Mysterio, is 3 guys and a girl?
It's 3 guys as well, yeah.
So what he's gonna get
Cruz del Toro, what's the other guy's name? The other guy in
Benicio del Toro and Santos Escobar.
Yeah, Pablo Escobar and Benicio.
Beanie Siegel. But yeah, it's that's happening. But Benjamin, the only option I think, if he stays in North America, is he'll end up in Ring of Honor as, like,
an enhancement talent.
Not
enhancement, like, in the terms of, like, a jobber, but, like, someone to put people a name over for and people to
work
beat
backstage with people and on stuff like that. That's because I don't see him. He's not going to main roster AEW, and Impact is not going to pay for him.
No. So it's I see him most likely back to Japan. Another name, not as big, but this one, Elias.
Elias is
Impact written all over him.
Okay, so I see 2 guys that have a toss up of where they could go. So we'll talk about him as well. Rick Boogs and Elias are, like, peak what Japanese companies want from white wrestlers. Just really big guys that could work in the ring, but are not ever going to be the main star.
Yeah.
They just
Boogs
want you to
be like
a
Jonah over there.
Yeah, go on a run, put some people over, and then you're going to get destroyed by
Okada. Or something.
Yeah, that's what it will. It will be Okada, or it'll be Shooter or something, right?
Yeah.
And then he plays the guitar. He has the guitar gimmick, which they love that kind of stuff with Tai Chi, the whole singing coming out. They love
singing coming out. Yeah, I can see that.
Everyone's a freaking K-pop boy band guy. Yeah. So, I mean, I do see that, but you're right. Impact is also, there's a good chance he'll land there, because he's not going to cost them a lot of money.
Yeah, and he'd be a good talent to have over there. Another name. Funnily enough, his twin brother Ezekiel never got fired.
Hey, let's see. I wonder. They didn't even mention that. Maybe he's still there.
Then we'll go to another. We're gonna stick with the men here before we move on to the women. Riddick Moss, Putty's favorite wrestler.
Riddick. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. I never been a fan. I don't know how you feel. Putty really liked him.
Never liked Riddick.
He does have the physique for the Japanese, what they want. But I don't think no North American company's taking a shot at him unless it's GCW.
Yeah, MLW. I could see him in MLW.
Maybe, yeah. It'll be one of the lower card companies. But other than GCW or MLW, I can't see it being worth for him to sign anywhere else.
Yeah,
unless he just goes Matt Cardona and rides the Indies. Oh, like obviously there's places All Japan or maybe Dragon
Matt Cardona though is a bigger name than Riddick Moss
for sure, but like he could do indies.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, Dragon Gate, All Japan, maybe DDT will take a chance on him.
Yeah. That.
But there's no way AEW, Ring of Honor, or Impact is going for him.
Yeah. So with that, speaking of Riddick Moss, we'll move on to his fiance when we're going to move on to the women, Emma.
There's two options here.
She's back to Impact.
They're both going to Japan, and she's going to sign to like Stardom or Joshi Pro because they'll both take her.
Yeah.
Because she's a big enough name. Or she's going to go to Impact because Ring of Honor is not taking her back. I know she had a little run on Ring of Honor pre-Tony Khan days, but she's probably going to Impact. She was one of the three names I said, and I think
her and Purrazzo can reform the tag team.
And she is a perfect mid-card woman wrestler, female wrestler. Yeah. And she already has a story there. She can go right back into her story. She can go
right back telling her story. Next name, this is the last probably. We got Aliyah, and we'll talk about both of them. Aliyah and Top Dolla. They got rid of Top Dolla without the rest of the faction.
Yeah, rightfully so. He sucks.
Yeah, everybody remembers that. Everybody makes
fun
of that.
You know the funniest the thing where he hit the top rope. Yeah. But this is the thing, and he's very outspoken on the internet. So please watch this and have some shit to talk to me about it, because you suck, and I can't wrestle. I would get beat up by a girl.
Yeah.
You are like, his entire run has been completely garbage.
And you were professionally trained, and we weren't. You still can't wrestle.
This run, and like, I just want to be honest here, right? Because like, I'm a fan and I'm watching this, and now we're like so deep into this. Like I watch like 500 wrestlers wrestle a week. Okay?
Yeah, we do.
Like there's nothing left in the tank here. And WWE sidelined him on top of it.
Yeah.
So
he's going nowhere. I don't think anybody's going to take a chance.
Nobody's taking NWA.
If anybody, the MLW will sign him at a low level deal.
Oh no, he's going to be, so this is what I decided. Okay. He's going to be the new Funkasaurus Rex
in NWA.
In NWA, and his name is going to be Tyrus, but instead of a T, it's going to be a 2. So it's going to be like Tyrus. It's going to be Tyrus 2. The Ford Taurus.
The Ford Taurus.
Ford Toru. He's going to be NWA. There's a chance.
Yeah, maybe NWA. Okay. And Aliyah. She's former women's tag. She's all right.
I don't even know who she is.
She's from Toronto. She's won. I think she won. She was one of the partners Raquel Rodriguez has won the belts with. One of 7.
Honest to God, never seen her in my life until they posted the picture of her getting released. I was like, okay.
And the last kind of big name here would be Dana Brooke.
Yeah, she's gonna go, I think, to Impact. I think it's a large enough name to draw crowds. She has a physique,
and she's a decent enough talent in the ring,
and she has the body like style to go with against a Jordan Grace kind of. You can have a few put over matches. Like I said, her and Emma are, if they somehow get Mustafa Ali, Emma, and Dana Brooke, I think that puts them in a really good position because it bolsters their female division big time, cements them really as like one of the top, probably the top.
Yeah. And
I don't think Mandy Rose is coming back.
So, no, she's done. She's happy making her adult content. So
yeah, and she's making a lot of money.
Yeah. So I mean, those are really all the big names. I'll quickly run through the other names that were released. You have Mansoor and Mace, which they were part of the Maximum Male Models for a while. Yeah. Okay. Shanky, Babatunde, Dabakato, whatever you want to call him, Quincy Elliott, Bryson Montana, Ulisa Leon, Daniel MacArthur, Kevin Cortez, Alexis Gray, and Brooklyn Barlow, and Ike Manjiro, which is an interesting one.
That group of people.
Ikeman's going back to Noah. That's for sure.
I'll talk about that in one sec. So let's talk about that right now. He's in the same position as who's the guy who came from Dragon Gate? He's still there. Japanese guy. He won the 24/7 title a bunch of times.
Oh, Akira Tozawa.
This guy falls into that category of like a really bright budding star from Japan that they plucked in the peak of him, like about to explode, and just purposely like to make sure
floundered him.
But they did. It feels like they did it on purpose to make sure those companies didn't blow up because of this wrestler.
Yeah, probably.
Because he came. What did he come from? Was he in Noah or All Japan?
I think it was DDT.
DDT, and he was like getting really good. He was like a huge prospect, and they took him, and he did literally nothing. And
he literally could have been the next Takeshita.
Yeah.
He had that level talent.
We'll see what he does now when he goes back, because he'll probably end up in All Japan or something.
I could see All Japan or Noah.
Yeah, that would be nice. All Japan could use a little boost. But a lot of these guys, I think that you named that runoff of people are going to end up either in like DDT, NWA, Indies, All Japan, really
ICW,
GCW. I can see NWA throwing money at everybody on the list that you just did the run through of. Like, not the main people we talked to, that bottom, because that's not going to cost them a lot of money, and they do have
someone like a Quincy Elliott. They can use that flamboyant type of character.
You can bring in Mace and what's his name,
Mansoor,
and you can make them a tag team there called like the Pretty Boys or something.
Yeah, and not Pretty Deadly.
But that's exactly the kind of thing that NWA likes to do. Bring in someone
sticky
you used to know and give them a very similar exact
shtick. Yeah. But I mean, that's it for the releases. Anybody else that you want to touch on there? Or?
I mean, I'd like to touch a few of them, but
hey, he might go to jail for that.
Hey, I was talking about Shelton Benjamin.
I know he still might go to. He might
like
it. So let's go. We're going to, since this is a little mini state, let's talk about some of the stuff that's been going on in AEW after Grand Slam. I know how happy you are about Eddie Kingston winning the belt.
Okay, I'm going to talk about that. You're not talking about anything right now.
It's all you. Go ahead.
Like in the pantheon of the sport that is wrestling, this is arguably, and there's some bad ones, okay, but this is arguably the dumbest booking decision we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
For two reasons. One, because now he's the face of Ring of Honor. Two, because he's a double champion of two major companies.
Yep.
A guy who is neither a supreme fan favorite nor a quality in-ring worker.
Yeah, unless you're in New York, he's not.
Yes, he can talk, but I'm getting really tired of his promos because it's always the same promo. It's very John Moxley-esque. He's a great talker. I'm not going to sit here and pretend he isn't, but it's just like, at what point?
But to be fair, though, Moxley's a little bit more talented than Eddie.
As a total, and he's a lot more popular.
Yes.
Eddie Kingston has fan backing. I'm not sitting here pretending like nobody likes Eddie Kingston, but he's not like Daniel Bryan over with like the Yes Movement or Rusev Day or LA Knight. It's not at that level. Yeah, he's popular. Yeah, but it's like double champion. And guess what? He's facing Shibata. If he beats Shibata, does he also win that title?
Because it's not under pure rules. I think Shibata, they're going to double champ Shibata and kind of phase out the pure championship.
You think so?
That's my thought.
And then put that championship on hold for a bit and then bring it back in a couple of years as like a thing.
Because they don't have the roster to hold that many belts when they're giving their main belts to their main roster guys.
Yeah, well, and we'll talk about that in one sec, but just let's stick with this for quickly. This is a Tyrus situation to me. This is a Canadian Indian guy situation to me. I can't remember his name from WWE. Who's the guy that won the championship?
Jinder Mahal.
It's one of those where it's like, we made this decision in a feud.
Yeah,
that's been like 12 matches. Number one.
Yeah, it's been going on for over a year.
It already, in my mind, ended a long time ago, but it's still going. And you did this, and okay, sure, it is what it is, but I just don't see the logic of it. I don't. There were so many other really good, really promising wrestlers you could have slapped this on that you could have used to push Ring of Honor. Like, Eddie Kingston is not bringing you more viewers.
No, but that's why I'm thinking, because he's going to have that match against Shibata. I think they may give Shibata the double belt, phase out the pure championship, have Shibata do that one final run, I think, in AEW before going back to Japan, and then, or retiring.
No, I'm
just to cement his legacy.
This is what's going to happen, and I don't like it. Eddie Kingston's going to win. Shibata's going to put him over. Shibata's going to lose that title to like inconsequential wrestler number 5. He's going to go back to doing what he's doing for a bit. And
what if it's Dalton Castle?
Oh, I would love that. Eddie Kingston's going to end up losing the New Japan title at the next event to whoever they feel is ready. Hopefully not the DKC. And
it would be nice for like someone like a Kevin Knight.
That's so funny you said that's what I said, but I think it's going to be like El Phantasmo or someone. It's going to be someone that we're not expecting.
Which one is it? Which is it? No,
there's one in like November. I'm pretty sure.
There's Fighting Spirit Unleashed.
That's the name of the game.
No, so there's October 28th. It's Fighting Spirit Unleashed, and then November 10th they have the Lone Star Shootout.
Okay, it'll be one of those. Okay,
yeah.
Let's not digress into fan booking. Okay, let me fan book.
Yes.
And then Eddie Kingston will lose that title there, and he's gonna hold on to the Ring of Honor title all the way into the new year.
Really, you think he's gonna hold it that long?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm getting really tired of this, letting people win because they're in their hometown. John Moxley, Saraya, Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, because that was a fast turnover for Moxley, losing the belt to Phoenix.
Which people say it's because of what happened in the ring, but they also could have ended the match the other way. They could have ended quickly and let Moxley win.
Get the roll up, yeah.
But I'm very happy. I was ecstatic when Rey Fenix won. I was freaking out. That's one of the best decisions they've made.
Yeah.
Let him go defend that in. I know we wanted to see Moxley in Japan, but let him go defend that in Japan. Let him go to Mexico and defend that belt.
Yeah, have it truly be an international champion, or
like Pac did, like it should be. Not every Monday, not every Wednesday night, the first match. Like, you know how frustrated I was getting when every single Wednesday the first match was Orange Cassidy. Like or are you here? Nah, wild thing. Like every day, every single time, it's John Moxley or Orange Cassidy first match. Like get out of my face. Anyways, we digressing from this point. Now let's talk about those trios titles.
Yes. So, what's their names? The Kenny Omega and the Bucks ended up winning the trios championship from
Adam Page and the Bucks.
Adam Page and the Bucks. Yes,
from the Mogul Embassy.
Mogul Embassy. That's right. So no more Prince Nana dancing.
I mean, I don't know what they're trying to tell with that storyline, but that's a story for another day.
To be honest, the Mogul Embassy never really did anything with those belts. Is Brian Cage's contract finally done? Like, is he finally resigned? Did he resign?
Yeah,
okay, then what was?
And they're locked up for a while. Apparently, the tag team. I don't remember what they're called.
Yeah.
But listen, they're good. They had a good run. They won every match. Like, obviously. For me, there's only one reason for this. It's for the fact that they're going to plan for their next pay-per-view, which is coming up soon in Ring of Honor, to have a lot of big names attached to it. That's why these titles are switching hands, right? And I think there's plans for Claudio to do something else. It was why the change with Eddie Kingston.
Yeah. Okay.
That being said, the Mogul Embassy side of it is weird for me because it was nice to see Brian Cage get a push, and they were really clicking as a threesome. I thought they were really working well.
Yeah, because now isn't Strickland now the leader of the Mogul Embassy?
Yeah, and you put them in this weird place where it's like, now what do they do? Because Brian Cage is not winning any singles titles.
No, he's definitely not dethroning. He's definitely not dethroning Samoa Joe.
Yeah, and they're not going to win the tag team titles because there's clearly plans in place, I think, for the Kingdom to win those titles.
No, the Righteous are aren't the Righteous?
Righteous are facing them, but they're not going to win. There's something along the Adam Cole storyline that involves the Kingdom where they're going to lose the titles to them.
Okay,
I genuinely think that.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's definitely a name thing, though.
Yeah,
it's like, let's get the Bucks and Adam Page on the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view. I'm buying. You know what I mean?
It's basically, I mean, but they're not even on. But the thing is, they're not defending those belts on the next pay-per-view. That's the funny thing.
Ring of Honor's pay-per-view. I'm saying
that's in December, though. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're getting it out of the way now, right?
Yeah.
You get them a couple matches on Thursday nights. You're drawing more eyes to your Ring of Honor product, right?
That's true. That's true. Why don't we? So let's go through the card for Russell Dream. That's going to be next week. I
want a prediction for every single thing.
Sure,
so
we'll do that.
It's on camera.
Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. Danielson's going over.
Yeah, Danielson's going over because it's not for the belt.
Yeah. Hangman Page versus Swerve Strickland. Strickland's going over.
Hangman.
Strickland by cheating. Hangman just defeated the Mogul Embassy. Swerve Strickland needs to get their win back to show that he's their leader.
If he wins by cheating, there's going to be another match, and Paige will win that one.
Yeah. Okay. Tag match: FTR versus Aussie Open. This is where you take the belt. You take the belt off of FTR.
Aussie Open is hyping themselves up way too much in their promos that there's no way I can see that them losing.
And this way it cements them too as one of the best tag teams by winning both the ROH and New Japan, and basically they've won every belt this year.
Also, did you ever notice how short FTR is when they're standing next to Aussie Open?
Because they're huge.
I did not know that. Yeah, either Aussie Open they're that tall, or FTR is actually not that tall.
They're not that tall. Okay. Okay, we got Better Than You, baby, against the Righteous. I'm going to MJF and Cole on this one. As much as I'd love to see the Righteous win it.
Like I said, I think they're building to something.
Yeah. Jericho and the Golden Elite, funny enough, versus Don Callis family.
This is the win for the Golden Elite.
You think so?
Yeah.
They
lost the last 2 times, right?
Sorry?
Didn't they lose both of the last 2 matches? Takeshi should have got the roll up at the pay-per-view. And then he beat Eddie. He beat Kenny one-on-one.
And the fact that Jericho and Omega are now teaming up together.
And Will Ospreay beat both of them as well. So I think this is the chance for them to get a win back where it doesn't hurt those other guys.
Yeah. This is where this is where they're going to either Takeshita can take the loss in this one and not look bad, or Guevara's there to take the loss.
Yeah, and this is where you're going to get the build of the feud for Ibushi versus Takeshita. It's going to build in this match.
Yeah. Christian Cage versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship. Even though Christian Cage,
Darby's going to win,
but he's not going to win the belt.
Christian should win.
No, Christian's not the champion technically.
No, Christian won.
No, Luchasaurus is the champion.
No, Christian just won. I know you did not watch Collision yesterday.
I did not watch Collision. No,
they had a 3-way match, and Christian pinned Luchasaurus.
Oh, so what happens there now?
Now Christian is the champion, and they're still friends. They hugged.
Okay.
Spoilers.
Well, there you go. I did not watch Collision. That was going to be
that match was not that good.
Yeah, but so then it's Christian going to win. I don't see Darby winning it then.
I want Christian to win because I'm really enjoying his work.
Yeah.
But I honestly have this greasy feeling that Darby Allin's going to win because they just want Darby Allin to win.
Yeah.
Enough Darby Allin in the TNT division. Like, I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Make him the Ring of Honor world champion.
He's the only one that's been have him beat Samoa Joe for even.
Yeah, they already have a built-in feud.
Yeah.
Like, you're a thinker.
See, I'm a thinker. That's why Scott D'Amore likes me. Eddie Kingston versus Shibata. I think Shibata is winning this. Oh, it's for both.
Yeah, it's for both belts. Not for the pure title. It's for both of Eddie Kingston's belts.
Then Kingston's winning.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, right? There's no way they're going to take both belts from Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, Eddie Kingston's winning. If it was just for the ROH, I see Shibata, but no. Then no. Statlander versus Julia Hart. I'm saying Julia Hart. It's time to put some gold on
her. I'm going to say this in all fucking the truthest of truth. Sorry for swearing. The last 2 matches against Sky Blue and then against...
She has looked phenomenal.
So good. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? I already thought she has the talent. Like, we've been saying she's the future of this company.
She's been training. Her being with the House of Black, training with those guys, working with those guys, being in the ring, she's absorbed so much from them. Because all 3 are good wrestlers.
Yeah, well, really good. And you could see from what they're teaching her, because you can see from. Anyways, when she takes things now, so what I noticed mostly from male wrestlers, when you get thrown into the corner or when you're running into the corner for a move spot, you go in with a lot of speed, even if you know you're going to hit the thing and it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Women's, I watched it because I watched her for Sky Blue. She slows down and then falls into the corner. Julia Hart is not doing that anymore. Julia Hart is taking it full power right into the wall.
She takes the full bump into the corner.
And
she'll take the full bump into the sideboards. She takes the full,
Yeah. The match against Anna Jay was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she was still rusty there, but against Sky Blue, and then I can't remember who she faced last night. Did both matches? She was really good.
Yeah, she has been impressive. And I think this is the time they put and now with Jade Cargill gone, and possibly joining WWE, this is the perfect spot for now. You can bounce around that TBS championship and give it to different people and not have to worry about like.
I think it's time for a put over, and I think, and this is going to sound strange, but I think what you do is you move Chris Statlander into a feud with Athena for the Ring of Honor World Championship.
Yeah, I think that's perfect for the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, because I think that's gonna be a big match. That's gonna be a good match, and I don't think I get it has to be Toni Storm for the main title, and then Jamie Hayter's gonna come back and she's gonna win it again.
So that's already a built-in feud right there.
I don't see an option for Chris Statlander to move up, and I think it's time for Julia Hart to win something.
Yeah, I agree. And the final match on the card is the Young Bucks against the Guns versus the Lucha Bros versus a new team of Orange Cassidy and Hook.
Literally the excited as I could possibly be. Like, how do you not want to watch this match?
Yes, I want to watch this match, but who would you give the championship? Like, who would you give the championship opportunity to? Cassidy and Hook?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to give it to Phoenix and Penta because Phoenix is still unless you give it to the Guns.
Ooh, that's good. That's juicy.
Right? The Guns, especially if Aussie Open wins, you get Aussie Open versus the Guns. I'd like that.
That's a sexy shit talking feud right there.
Yeah.
Because guess what? You have a built-in feud right there because you have Bullet Club, and then you can have Will Ospreay show up a few times and everyone else or you get like Jeff Cobb to come over or Aaron Henare.
See? Great O'Con.
Excited.
Yes. I like that. I like that idea a lot. Any other things you want to talk about before we end this one?
No.
Okay. Well, thanks again for joining us on this little mini state we had for you for the month of September. Make sure you join in later this week. And we'll have the PWI coming down. They released their top, I guess, not the full top 500, but they released the top 100 of the 500. And Campo and I do not agree with the list, especially with how far down some people are on the list. And someone who's at the top, as much as we love him, I don't think deserves to be at number one.
Yeah, I think when you guys see the lists, I'm gonna be shocked.
Yeah. So with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for that. And in the words of Kenny Omega, goodbye and good night.